Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Today could be one for the record books. Local forecasters tracking a heat wave making its way through Metro Detroit. And we are set to get a big mouthful of summer today. Not just a taste, Brandon. We're going to get the full effect of feeling like we are in the middle of the summer heat today.
Yeah, look at these temperatures already sort of exceeding expectations, and we're on our way. More and more sunshine, low, middle, even upper 70s. 69 degrees, Grosse Ile, little breeze off of the water there. But yesterday we made it to 82, and here at noon we're about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than we were at noon yesterday. The winds are a warming factor. These are not storm winds, but nuisance winds. So those graduating senior signs in the front yard, the garbage cans, everything gets jostled as later wind gusts will be over 30 miles an hour. Currently 20 to 25 on those winds. Storm tracker force sweeping. A lot of times we get the heat, humidity, and we start to see storms forming. However, let us just enjoy this taste of summer, hydrated with sunscreen, low 80s through 2 p.m. and then 88, feeling like low 90s. The record, 91, a possibility. We do have to talk about a severe threat for late today, and we'll do that coming up. In the meantime, as you're heading out and about, this is your greatest weapon and tool because we've got severe threats today and tomorrow. The Local Forecasters app, that QR code in the middle of your screen, you can get it with your camera phone, but it's free and has everything you need to stay ahead of the storms. Rhonda.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Parents and families looking for that baby formula are continuing to encounter empty store shelves. One data tracking agency reports 45% of baby formula products across the United States were out of stock at some point last week. More than 50% of formula products were out of stock at some point last week in 10 states. The Biden administration secured its first batch of infant formula from overseas in the effort to get the shortages under control and more supplies on the shelves. NBC's Jolene Kent has more.
Operation Fly Formula could start moving imports of foreign formula into the United States in the next few days. The White House announcing the first flight carrying around 246 pallets of formula from Zurich, Switzerland to Indiana has been approved. It can't come soon enough for worried parents. And on Capitol Hill yesterday, lawmakers on both sides grilled the FDA commissioner on where the nation's formula shortage goes from here.
We should begin to see improvement within days.
So I can tell my constituents that within a matter of days, they'll be able to find formula on the shelves?
Within days, it will get better, but it will be a few weeks before we're back to normal.
The FDA telling NBC News it is concerned not having certain formulas available on shelves could pose life-threatening risks for infants.
3 girls, oh my goodness.
Like 3-month-old triplets, Nami, Eritrea, and Anya. Their mom, Sydney Galvin, says she's been grappling with the shortage for 2 months after their formula was recalled.
How are you dealing?
I'm just really taking it day by day, to be honest.
Unable to find her formula on shelves, she had no choice but to suddenly switch brands.
They weren't tolerating it very well at first, actually. They had a lot of reflux.
Desperate, she's now turning to the Mother's Milk Bank here in Austin. The milk bank usually reserves this milk for the most medically fragile babies, like those in hospitals. But for formula-fed babies in crisis, they're giving away 39 ounces of donor milk per baby, ramping up processing and pasteurizing to meet the growing need.
If we don't fill this gap, families will attempt to fill the gap themselves by choosing to dilute their available formula or choosing to feed their infants something not made for infants. That cannot happen.
Texas has been hit particularly hard. The formula out of stock rate here is now 50%. Parents are thankful as milk banks step up to fill the void, now shipping the life-saving milk to 26 states.
I'm so glad that they could give us a little bit.
And that was Jolene Kent reporting. Officials say that milk banks across the country are asking for donations as a short-term solution. A woman has died following a road rage shooting and a crash that happened in Garden City. It happened at the intersection of Middle Belt and Maplewood roads. Police are saying that a road rage incident between the driver of a pickup truck and the driver of another SUV led to gunfire between the two. The pickup ended up crashing into another car driven by a woman in her 40s, and she did not survive that crash. The man driving the pickup truck was arrested, but police are still looking for the driver of the other vehicle. The search continues for the suspect after two people are shot in a school parking lot moments after a graduation ceremony. The shooting happened at East Kentwood High School in Gaines Township, which is just outside of Grand Rapids. Fortunately, the victims survive. Both the 16-year-old and 40-year-old woman are expected to be okay. Police say two white sedans opened fire as people were leaving and then drove off. No arrests have been made, and right now there's no known connection between the victims and the suspects they're looking for. President Biden is in South Korea this morning. It's his first trip to Asia as president, and while much of the trip's focus will be on trade and economic development with some key allies, the president is also sending a message to China, North Korea, and Russia. Chris Pallone is in Washington this afternoon with the latest on the trip.
President Biden's first trip to Asia since taking office, a symbolic visit delivering messages to the U.S.'s allies and adversaries.
So much of the future of the world is going to be written here in the Indo-Pacific over the next several decades.
The presidential visit to South Korea and Japan, a sign of unity with key allies in the face of growing military and economic threats from North Korea, China, and Russia.
Putin's brutal and unprovoked war in Ukraine has further spotlighted the need to secure our critical supply chains so that our economy, our economic, and our national security are not dependent on countries that don't share our values.
A message of an affirmative vision of what the world can look like if the democracies and open societies of the world stand together to shape the rules of the road.
The president arrives in Seoul a day after welcoming the leaders of Finland and Sweden at the White House as they apply to join NATO.
It is so important. America's alliances in Europe and in Asia keep us, and I would argue, the world strong and secure.
The president leaves behind several pressing issues which have driven down his public approval ratings: the baby formula shortage, the war in Ukraine, and soaring gas prices.
We are working with oil-producing countries around the world. This will be a topic when the president is in Asia.
While in South Korea and Japan, the president will highlight partnerships with Asian companies, which the White House says will create jobs in the U.S. and help alleviate supply chain issues driving the recent spike in consumer prices. Back here at home, after a week's delay, the Senate finally passed that $40 billion package of aid, which will help Ukraine in its fight against Russia. That bill is on its way to Asia, so President Biden can sign it as soon as possible. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Here at home, drivers continue to feel the pain at the pump as gas prices are continuing to be ever close to $5 a gallon. According to AAA Michigan, the average price right now is $4.57 across the state. That's up 23 cents compared to last week and 64 cents compared to last month. Michigan's average is just 2 cents below the national average, which is at $4.59 now a gallon. The Southfield Police Department is paying tribute to officers who lost their lives in the line of duty. They gathered this morning outside of police headquarters for the annual police memorial service. The department says it's implementing a new memorial wall side, and this is at the headquarters to honor two officers who lost their lives.
We know that their memories will continue to live on through this police department and the amazing family and friends who sit here today. And I pray that these fond memories bring comfort, peace, and consolation, that their deaths were not in vain.
The Southfield Police Chief says that officers who died from COVID-19 have been recognized for their service as well. It is the venue that marks the start of summer. Pine Knob celebrating 50 years of outdoor music. Anticipation builds for the summer season to celebrate the milestone event, from new signage and food options to a 50th anniversary retrospective photo exhibit. There's something for everybody this summer. Get ready. The first show kicks off 1 week from today. The Reese continues to get prices under control for just about everything we buy. Next at noon, we are learning about the economy as we head into the busy summer months.